Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for a random catfishing video. God, it's actually been about 10 years, I think, so I should do a real video. But, today after I got out of the hospital today, sometimes I look for other fake accounts ever since my pictures have been stolen on the internet. I have sort of a curiosity about it, you could say, trying to, and I like kind of like psychology as well. And I was looking at this one fake account, and whenever I find a fake account or what I assume is a fake account, I'm always like, how much English can you speak? I want to hear your voice. Because I want to see from the get go if this person will try to like do a fake voice. It's kind of curious to me, right? And this person, though, immediately started talking about me, not in a real way. Like they're like, oh, you're over 40, all this kind of stuff. Oh, you're sick kind of stuff. Oh, you post on 4chan, blah blah blah. So obviously I'm not over 40, anything like that, but I do have health problems, and people do post about me on 4chan. Like I said, generally I don't post on 4chan, you know what I mean? But it made me kind of think, and going through all these, just years and years of like stalking and harassment and lies made up about me. And I've always kind of had that thought when I started thinking about it. I wonder if even my pictures being stolen on the internet is originally because of the fighting game community, you know? And of course, I also have this thought of like, oh man, there must just be this like a specific ether of just a group of sort of individuals who steal other people's pictures, right? You know what I mean? Because again, the stuff the guy was trying to say about me was not necessarily true, but it was true in the sense of it's stuff that I hear people who do not like me might say. That was kind of it, right? And it's also kind of funny because it's like you're pretending to be a girl, motherfucker. Like, what are you doing? But just to go over some of these, because again, I should do a real video about this. Again, at one point, my pictures were being stolen so much on the internet, I was actually getting banned from sites for supposedly being a celebrity, which is insane, right? You know what I mean? And, but let's go over some images. God, I have folders and folders, so I didn't want to put too many in there because we'll get bored. But, you know, again, probably like everybody, I've been insecure before, but I know one of the catalysts was there used to be this site, and maybe it's still around, called beautifulpeople.com. And I actually ended up getting number one on the site. I got the most beautiful person in the world kind of thing, which is sounds absolutely, it's obnoxious and ridiculous, but you know, I kind of like just went on the site because I was insecure, but I ended up getting number one on the site, and I can tell you it's not that cool though. People like were asking for my sperm; they wanted my super sperm, and it's generally a site where it's just a lot of sugar babies. And I have met some people from the site, but it wasn't that amazing. So, if you take it, oh my God, most beautiful person, you might think it's cool. I just signed up to the site because I was insecure and I happened to get number one. And then once I kind of like dug into the site, I'm like, oh, this is kind of dumb. But, I did meet some people from it, and I've heard, I met some sugars babies from it who have done much better than I have. That's for sure in life, but, and of course, I've met like B level actresses, you could say, from it. But again, this is probably isn't in order. One of the things that happened was, and this is God 2014, and you want to know what's crazy when you look at this? Look down here. Do you see that right there? That's that image that Buttmonger tried to say. Can you see it says 2014? Yeah, 2014. That's that image of Buttmonger tried to say that I stole my MRI, or they said it was an ultrasound. That's how retarded they are. My tumor wasn't me, but if you remember at the time, we're talking about I'm going to die and all this kind of stuff, and my health was just, I've had so many bad times in life. I put a Pikachu versus God in it and an image of my tumor. But anyway, that just goes to show. That's kind of funny if you think about that other drama. But so if you look at this, first of all, you should know this guy, Hot Doc. I think that's this gay guy who ended up finding out where I live. Let's not even get into that story. Okay, that's another story. But there was this guy named Sander, right? And what happened was, I started getting all these weird messages, and that's why I said, oh my God, 2014, I should fucking do a real video about this someday. I started getting all these weird messages on Facebook of people saying like, hey, you stole all my naked pictures and you're posting them on the internet. What's going on? Why is your name Clayton? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, my name is Clayton, right? And so I started, and I found out it was from the site Interpals, right? And so I'm like, oh, let me sign up to this site. And oh my God, I could tell you so many fucking crazies from the site. Like I'm still on the site on and off, you know what I mean? A lot of times I'm just looking for fakes, but you know, and so I did actually get messaged by some of my fakes. And this was one of the guys, right? And he was a Korean guy and we talked. And the funny thing is, his apparent story was he stole my pictures because he was looking for this Chad American guy. And he saw my pictures and he's like, this is a stereotypical Chad guy. And he's like, he must get so many girls, so I'm going to steal his pictures on this site, which is funny because if you know anything about a lot of these, which are basically international dating sites, especially now, they only care about Korean guys half the time. So he didn't even realize that he was in demand. But anyway, the point is, so talk to that guy, and it was weird. Even at this time, the funny thing is God, people were already doing like really bad video fakes of people. You know what I mean? And I talked to, girls who said that they were talking to my fakes and they would knowingly get on webcam and, diddle in front of this fake, even though they had realized that this must not actually be me. They would still send naked videos to this guy and get on cam and touch themselves because they liked the idea that it was me, apparently, which is crazy. Like, just blows your mind. It kind of shows like an insecurity too. And it's like, dude, half these pictures that this guy is stealing or these guys are stealing, they're webcam pictures. If the excuse is always that the webcam is not working, you must know it's not me. But apparently they would still do it. But, that's more of a psychological conversation. But and, I started seeing, and I said this before, people think that I post on fighting game stuff for 4chan and all this kind of stuff. I said before, I didn't know that the community talked about me the way they did. And so I didn't even bother looking at fighting game stuff because, again, after I left the community, I really just did combo videos. It didn't really occur to me. You know what I mean? So, and there was the time, and I still try to be healthy, but, I posted on like Fit or something like that because I was trying to motivate myself to be healthy and I was reading about stuff. And, eventually I just stopped because it just is like, oh, well, I'm at my limit anyway. And then it doesn't interest me. But I would see people were stealing my pictures there, right? And like I said, I even tried to be nice about it at first. I'd be like, yo, who is this, right? It's flattering that you're taking my picture, but who are you? And who knows who exactly these guys were. But, again, just more and more, God, there's so, there's just folders and folders of me stealing different pictures, right? And I saw people would even like pretend to be my name. They would like put my name in somehow or whatever. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're like actually stealing my name and you can see me here at the bottom. I'm like, dude, that's not me. Like it started getting like really kind of creepy, right? And I would like take different pictures. I'm like, yo, dude, this person pretending to be me is not me. Like that's me. Wow, man, look at my jaw. I always say one of the saddest things is when my pictures were getting stolen the most, people didn't even realize how sick I was. I had that 4 months at one point where I basically couldn't walk and everything like that. I was not in a good time. You know what I mean? But, one day I should show you all the videos I didn't take videos. Just screenshots, I should say, of just the girls that I was Skyping who have now gone on to be, sort of like Instagram, I don't want to say thought, but, hundreds of thousands of followers, right? Like I'm the one person, I didn't get to become famous because, unfortunately I'm sick and, I didn't want to have sex with a lot of these girls that some of them are just older and, maybe these other girls, they end up getting sugar daddies and everything like that. I talked to one girl who got $4 million from a guy recently this year. Crazy, right? But anyway, and again, so I'm posting pictures. I'm like, yo, okay, now this is getting creepy, right? I wasn't going to post, but dude, you're actually stealing my name. This is getting really weird, dude. You know what I mean? And again, it happened over and over again. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't really actually post on 4chan that much. Like half the time I'm looking at it now, it's just because I see people pretending to be me. Like, this is really fucking weird, right? It's like getting a little strange, right? This is another weird thing too. And when I found out about that site, Interpal stealing my pictures, right? There's some really kind of creepy and dark stories of once I actually got on the site, because I'm like, oh, well, I'm here. I may as well try to make friends. And again, like I said, I actually have a sort of curiosity about finding fakes myself now. But, you know, I saw there were dudes that were specifically, whenever I would start talking to a girl, they would message them and they would try to see if they could get them to hate me. Like, there's a really fucking creepy story of some guy from Poland who he would message every girl. I guess his goal was he wanted to see, I guess he had some kind of delusional fantasy that I must have sex with every single girl I know. And he had some like delusional fantasy how he wanted to prove that he could have sex with a girl that I could not. And so his fantasy, whatever it was, is he was messaging everybody he could to make them hate me. And then since he was in Europe or whatever, he would then find one of the girls that I would talk to and he would fuck them. And apparently he eventually did. And that was proof that he was better than me or some shit. Like, that's like the level of like psychosis of, you know what I mean, that some of these fucking weirdos have. But yeah, no, I remember like people, and they would start posting about it on 4chan. Like, can we get people to actually hate Clayton, dude? Oh, we know that you were talking to this girl. I heard that you talked to her and said, don't worry about this guy, but I'm going to prove that I'm not a creepy weirdo. I'm going to get her to hate you. Don't worry. I'll find a way. Yeah, very fucking strange, dude. And of course, although there were some funny things, like people were making funny, you know, these things were kind of funny, right? I mean, it's kind of silly, right? Kind of cute, I guess, in its own way, but again, there's so many words. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Do I look like a Jorge or Georgie from South Africa? Some of these are so like Taylor Mike, no, Clayton. And you know, I do got to say, man, I mean, it is true. I mean, God, dude, if I would have, and again, unfortunately, people don't realize how sick I am. When my pictures were really getting stolen on the internet, I mean, half the time my fakes had more people than me. But dude, I had thousands and thousands and thousands of messages from people. And the interesting thing is, though, that I actually could talk to a lot of them because I was, you know, and I am always in the hospital. I have so much free time. I can actually have conversations with all these people, but it's not like I was out fucking them and everything like that. And even from the site, I've met, God, I don't know how many people I've met from the site, but if you think that I've talked to thousands and thousands and thousands, and you think that maybe I've met 20, 30, 40, I don't even know if I've met 40 people from the site. That seems like that might be a lot. But if you think that I've talked to thousands and thousands and thousands of people, that's not that much, right? But yeah, more people just stealing money, just very strange, dude. And I'd be like, bro, why are you taking my pictures, dude? Like, what is going on, dude? And I guess, you know, again, I don't know if it's like an invasion of privacy if I show you some of the girls that I talked to, but man, some of them and some of I see them they're still very beautiful, right? Like there's this one girl who is in Korean movies and everything like that now, apparently, whenever I look on her Instagram, and she's married and everything like that. But man, that girl, oof, very fucking beautiful. But never got to meet her, unfortunately. But excuse me. But anyway, I just had that thought today because, and I've thought it before, but I wonder if it's actually people from the fighting game community that originally stole my pictures. You know, because I think about that conversation today looking for fakes, and the guy was, you know, talking about things in a way that it's like something that somebody from 4chan would say that hates me and makes up lies about me. And then, of course, you know, now I think about, whoa, dude, when I think about, you go back in the video game community and you see they have even deleted all my posts, like on Dust Loop, are deleted for certain times, just all completely gone. And you see the absolute insanity that the video game community has, like, oh, we can't even mention you on stream. Just don't, you can't talk about Clayton here, even though I'm being mentioned. And it's like, whoa, dude. And and when you think about how crazy that is, and then I think about some of this stuff, dude, and it's like, whoa, I wonder if my pictures were originally stolen from people in the video game community, right? Does that make sense? Because again, I think about things like 4chan, and of course I've posted on it before, but I never posted on like the video game stuff. It wasn't even until quite a bit ways after Dragon Ball Fighter Z when I heard that people were lying about me, making up so many stories. And I'm like, whoa, people are actually like posting about me here. What's going on? Like, you know, I had seen this stuff like on the fitness stuff, and I think it was fashion. And the only reason I looked there was, so to speak, because of, my own insecurity and trying to be more healthy and everything like that. And eventually I just stopped because it just wasn't relevant, I guess, to my life. I mean, obviously I still try to be healthy, but I, don't post there or anything like that. But, you know, I don't know. That kind of thing makes me think about that. And again, it also makes me think that, whoa, there is like this, or perhaps, or there is just this like ether of selections of like known people that will steal this person's pictures or something like that. Or this is a picture to steal. This is a person to pretend to be, right? And of course, I also feel like, man, I never got to be famous, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Most people's pictures who get stolen, like I said, I've seen my fakes of me have more people or followers than me before, like absolutely crazy. Like I'm like, whoa, what is this, dude? But anyway, remember, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. The end.